Pork belly. Look how much fat there is in this pork belly. This just reminds me of your mother. Sure, you can get pre-sliced ones, but trust me, your SO will be so much more impressed seeing you handling and stroking that meat. For the dishes we're making today, we need some thinly sliced pork, as well as thickly sliced pork. To cut them into thin slices, freeze the meat for around 15 minutes. This will firm up the meat, preventing the pork belly from falling apart when you're slicing it. Leave these thick pieces for bossam. Before we start, in order to make it into a Korean family, obviously you need to defeat the father in StarCraft first, then learn how to handle his meat with tongs and scissors. Okay, this is getting weirder and weirder as I explain. But back to the point. Once you can cut meat with tongs and scissors, it will change your cooking life. Classic Korean barbecue. This is how you can cook Korean barbecue at home. Cook thinly sliced pork over medium heat. You don't need to put any oil in the pan, as pork belly contains about 50% fat, just like your mother. Make sure each side looks crispy and all the pork fat is melted. It may look overcooked, but you don't really want to bite into a soft fat. If you have never scissored the meat before, this is a perfect time to learn it. You can put the meat in between your scissors and chop it like this. The size of the meat is a personal preference, so if you can fit a large meat in your mouth, then have it your way. Pork fat is delicious, so use it to fry up some garlic and kimchi to have some authenticity. This is Ssamjang. It may not look appetizing, but this sauce goes amazingly well with any meat. You can buy it at your local store, but I find store-bought versions a bit average, so let's try to improve it. We want to add lemonade for some fizz, sugar to sweeten it up, crushed garlic because every single Korean dish uses garlic, a lot of sesame oil, and sesame seeds for texture. The consistency should look something like this, but you can make it runnier or thicker depending on your preference. If you don't have pre-made Ssamjang at home, but you have soybean paste and chili paste, we can mix them to make Ssamjang. Add 1 portion of soybean paste and a half portion of chili paste with garlic, lemonade, a lot of sugar, a lot of sesame oil, and mix it up. You can increase or decrease how much chili paste you use depending on your spice preferences. Set the table with pork belly and garlic, fried kimchi, lettuce, Ssamjang, sesame oil with salt and pepper, and rice. Pick up the lettuce and wrap whatever you want inside. Just think like you're wrapping up a taco, but make sure you can fit the whole thing in your mouth because otherwise you're gonna have some regrets. Spicy Korean pork. For this recipe, unfortunately, we need to prepare some vegetables. Cut spring onions, cabbage, and onions. Usually for spicy Korean pork, the meat is marinated first then cooked. But since I have no patience, and because frying it first gives a better texture, we're going to fry the pork in its own fat. Cut the meat into bite sizes again, and once the pork is nice and crispy, add spring onions and add sugar to caramelize the meat. When you think the spring onions fried, add a half cup of water and simmer. While simmering, add a little bit of chili paste, fine and coarse chili flakes, and soy sauce. If you only have one type of chili flakes, it's fine to only add one, but fine chili flakes helps to make your spicy pork more red, which makes it look more appetizing. Ah crap, I forgot to add garlic. Crank up the heat and add the vegetables. I don't like overcooking my vegetables because they don't deserve my time or love, so it should come out fairly crispy and alive so I can murder it with my teeth. Take the spicy pork out and serve. I mean honestly, I love this so much. It goes so well with white rice and this is just delicious. Marinated pork with eggs and onions. I've never made this dish before, but I found this marinade in the cupboard. I think you're meant to use this for marinating pork ribs, but what can go wrong, right? I think onions go well with pork, so I'll slice some onions and I'll whisk some eggs so I can put it on top. I'm going to add the pork belly to the pan and cut it thinly so they cook quicker. Add onions and marinade. These marinades are usually very strong, so only use little. When the onions are cooked, pour the eggs on top. Wait until the eggs are cooked and serve. This is actually really good, but I swear this dish tastes so familiar. So after doing some research, it looks like I made some butadon with eggs. Damn, I thought I was so special and original. Braised pork belly or bossam. This is the finale, boys and girls. This will be the best pork belly you'll ever taste, and it's so simple to make. Make sure the pot is deep enough for the pork belly to submerge. Add soybean paste, onions, and spring onions, and a surprise ingredient, instant coffee. Instant coffee helps to get rid of that typical pork smell, and it also adds some color to the pork. And who doesn't want to consume caffeine? When the broth boils, turn the heat down and braise the pork for around an hour. Since I was hungry, I opened the lid after 40 minutes and checked it. If the pork belly is done, a knife should go through the belly like you're cutting butter. This looks pretty good, but I want my pork belly to be moist and tender, so let's come back to it in 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, look how tender this is. Make sure you rest the pork for a bit before you slice. This will help you to keep the meat moist. Slice it thick so it doesn't go cold quick. I've seen people eating this without cutting it, but I don't want to be seen eating long meat on video. Again. What? Set up the table with rice, lettuce, kimchi, raw garlic and chili, Ssamjang, and wait, what is this? It's a tiny shrimp again? What the f? Okay, from this point, it's going to be me shoving meat in my mouth and probably moaning. Please remember to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and enjoy watching some strange man eat meat on the internet, you weirdo. Thanks for watching. God, so tender. God, my chopstick skills. Tiny shrimp. Oh. Wow. The flat on there. Oh, with the size, I can check what I'm doing. I'll put some rice on. Damn, I'm drooling everywhere. Bit of tiny shrooms. God, man, look at that. Look how fatty that is. Chuck it on there. Raw garlic. Dip it in. Chuck it on there. Get some really spicy chili. These are really spicy. Alright, why not? I'll put a kimchi in it as well. Look at that. To put that in one go. Oh my god. Cha-dan. Dip.